Why haven't you ever been married? I've been having a conversation a lot lately with people who think that someone who's never been married later in life, 40 and upward, that has something wrong with them. And I'd like to put a different thought in your head because honestly, especially as a New Yorker, right? Like I can name at least 20 of my dearest friends who are later in life, 40 and upwards, who've never been married. And it's not because anything's wrong with them. It's largely because they were too focused on their career and they were just not focused on finding a relationship. Because I'll tell you this too, as a dating coach in New York, I've had so many 40-something men come to me for coaching saying, I thought I'd be married by now, right? And that doesn't just happen. You need to be intentional about finding a good partner. And you can waste years in the wrong relationship. And then, like, before you know it, you're 50 and you're going, wow, I thought I would have been married by now, right? So trust me, I know what I'm talking about. So don't discount somebody because they've never been married. First off, they've made good decisions to not get into a bad marriage and then have to have a divorce. You know, honestly, when I turned 30, my father said to me, you know, I thought you'd been married by now. And I was like, Dad, and he was like, wait, no, let me finish. At the same time, I'm really proud of you that you didn't just, marry some man to have him take care of you. And I think that's a very valid point. So if you've met somebody who's never been married and it's really giving you pause because you're like, what's wrong with them, right? Why are you so single, right? That implies what's wrong with you. Honestly, probably a better choice is somebody who's had a lot more life experience in the dating world. And, hopefully you're learning along that journey and you've had more relationship skills because you've had many more opportunities to sharpen those skills. And I also think it's also better to not have somebody who has a lot of baggage, right? I mean, look, as a matchmaker, people who have kids need someone else whose kid's schedule matches theirs, right? Like if you have your kids every other weekend, it needs to be the same weekend that your partner's has, right? So that you get to spend time together. I mean, that adds a whole nother sloppy dynamic to dating in the first place. So I'm just trying to put a new idea in your head that if you've met somebody that you like, but they've never been married, don't let that scare you. I mean, ask questions about it and ask them how long their longest relationship has been. It better have been at least 2 years. So, and ideally, 4 or 5 years. I mean, I know people that were in 10-year relationships that they never got married. I mean, I think they call that common law, right? So just because someone never walked down the aisle or eloped with somebody, it doesn't mean that they've not made true commitments to somebody, and then they're not capable of making a true commit to somebody. So there's a lot of really wonderful people who've been wanting to only get married once and would still like to do that, or just really find their forever person, right? Everybody wants to go on their last first date. So try not to make preconceived ideas about somebody who's never been married because they're probably really ready for a loving relationship. And don't count them out just because they didn't make the mistake of marrying the wrong person prior to meeting you.